get started. So the thing I chose to talk about for my nature notes was practical uses of pines and how they've been used historically, because I am very much into wild, edible, and medicinal plants. So to get started, I made some white pine tea for y'all. It was kind of rushed, so it's not typically how I make it, because usually, maybe you just put it like that for
Are there needles in it still?
There are, but yeah. Usually, I like to make this, you go collect like a bundle of pine needles, you kind of rip them up, and then you can, sorry. I don't know how well it's going to work. It's like you can take the
You
top.
could probably take the top off, that might be easier.
Yeah, but typically I'll go get them and I'll boil them in water for about 5 minutes. And I think you can do it with all pines, but white pine has the highest concentration of vitamin C. And it doesn't taste super strong, but it's still pretty good. It's also really good if you use spruce and pine needles together. But anyway, white pines have been used historically by Native Americans and early explorers because it has the great just practical uses for survival, and it has good medicinal properties as well. And it's still used a little bit today in our modern world by herbalists. They like to use it for its health benefits. Cool thing about pines, they're really important economically in our state. I think they're the most important actually for generating revenue and such. And it's cool because they're pretty common in Wisconsin, especially in Schmeeckle. I don't have a picture to show you, but I know we can see a white pine out that window right there by the parking lot. And they're pretty easy to distinguish by the 5 needles. So I kind of just wanted to start from the bottom up of how they could be used. And I found some of this information online, and I also have a friend who's kind of a survival expert, so I talked to him as well. So starting at the roots, I guess, if you were out and about and needed to tie something together or make cord, I guess you can take the roots and wind them up, and apparently they will wind up into this pretty decent cord you can use. So whatever you may need that for, you could use it. The bark, the inner cambium layer, that's edible, and apparently it has like a bittersweet taste. I haven't tried it, but that's what I've heard. Native Americans, they used to chew on that to help heal like coughs or chest congestion or bronchitis, anything like that. Supposedly it's really good for. Also, in like times of hunger, or particularly in winter, you can take that bark, like the inner bark, and strip it from the outer bark and like cut it up into strips and dry it. And apparently you can grind that into like a flour, and that was something that they used when food was really scarce. Apparently it has a very interesting acquired taste. Not sure about that. But yeah, also if you like grind up that wet inner pulp, you can apply it to like little cuts or wounds, and it helps it heal supposedly. Pine needle tea, which you're drinking, very rich in vitamin C, so that's really great at helping fight off diseases, strengthen your immune system. Yeah, like I said, Native Americans and early people drank that, and we still do today occasionally. Also, I know we know this because we're outdoorsy or from SWES. If you taught survival strategies, the dry pine needles are really great at starting fires. Very tender. The pine nuts, I have not tried them, but apparently they have a sweet taste and they're pretty nutritious. I've heard they don't taste as good as some of the other, sort of white pine don't taste as good as other pines, I'm not sure. That's what I've heard. And Native Americans, they used to take the young staminate cones and they would stew them with like meat just to give it extra flavor and that calories, I guess. And then the sap, it's pretty antibacterial, so I know people will like, again, put it on cuts or tiny wounds and it helps them heal. That's cool. Also, it used to be used to waterproof things like buckets and boats, so that was handy. And also, the sap is pretty flammable, so that's a great fire starter as well. So basically, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the trees that are around us and how they can be used. And keep your eyes open because there's cool stuff out there in nature.